Another Animal Farm Rewind. You can't say you weren't warned. That's right, boys and girls. Hey, King.
Hey, Uncle Lou.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, everybody. It's me, Uncle Luigi.
That's right.
I am the Animal Farm storyteller.
You sure are.
Here today to tell you the story of the Frog Prince and the Pauper.
The Frog Prince and the Pauper.
The Frog Prince and the Pauper. That's right, King.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Okay, here
Right.
comes the once upon a time part.
Go right ahead.
Once upon a time, there was, as you might expect, a prince. And he was a very nice guy. And he lived in a very nice, top-of-the-line castle in a beautiful, if entirely fictional town, in a very fictional valley, in a completely made-up land. But this prince, he kind of had a problem. You see, he didn't always like being a prince. People following him everywhere, having to wear the crown all the time, which was very heavy. Having to go to royal functions all the time and dress nice and say hello and bow and curtsy and pardon people and all that stuff. He didn't like that. And to make matters worse, he was having problems with his neighbor, who was a witch. Yeah, that's right, a witch. There were witches everywhere in Storybook Land. It's a witch problem in his kingdom, believe me. You know how some suburban neighborhoods you have like a gang problem, but in like the storybook world, it's a witch problem. They're everywhere, and there's this one witch who really had it in for the prince and having to live next to him. I can't remember why she didn't like him. I don't know. Something somebody said about somebody's mom. I don't remember exactly, but the point is, this witch, she didn't like this prince, and he didn't really like being a prince. He was to have a little bit of an identity crisis, boys and girls, and so one day, he took a little walk. He decided to go down to the Circle K to get a slushie.
The Circle K?
Yeah.
Circle K?
Well, actually, it might have been a Sheetz. I don't remember.
Oh, a Sheetz. Okay.
Or Royal Farm?
Royal Farm. Yeah, okay. Well, whatever.
Anyway, it's not important. The point is, he go down to the Circle K to get himself a
Whatever.
slushie. And when he walk in and go over to the slushie machine, he see the guy working the slushie machine looks just like him. I mean, not a little bit like him. Not like, hey, they resemble each other. I mean, this guy looks exactly like the prince. And the prince look at him, he look at the prince and like, dude, we look exactly alike. Yeah. So they get it to talking. Turns out the slushy guy, he doesn't like being a slushy guy. Turns out the prince doesn't like being a prince. They say, why don't we trade? It'll be great. Yeah. The slushy guy says, I've always wanted to be a prince and be rich. And the prince says, I love slushies. I can have all I can eat here. It's a perfect deal. So they go in the back room, they switch the clothes. The slushy guy, he put on the heavy crown and the fancy clothes. And the prince, he put on the paper hat and the apron. And that's that. Well, it works out nicely for a little while. Yeah, the prince, the first thing he does, he pour himself a grape slushie. He loves it. He has one, has another one, and then gets the worst case of brain freeze anybody in the kingdom had ever had. And then the manager came back and told him to quit loafing around and eating slushies and to mop the back room, and they had to restock the shelf, and then it was rush hour and they ran out of coffee. Oh, he was crazy. Whew. The prince said, this didn't work out quite the way I thought it was going to work out. But he kept working. Meanwhile, back at the castle, the slushy guy is loving life. He's watching the big screen TV. He's got a satellite. He's got a little portable XM satellite radio on his head. He's having the bubble tea and the foot massage. And he's thinking how great everything is going when all of a sudden, the witch shows up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And the witch, she said, now you in for it, buddy. And he said, wait, I'm not who you think I am, but poof! She changed him into a frog. And he think, this didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out. And then he hop away down into the swamp. It's a frog thing. You're a frog, you go to a swamp. I don't know. Well, Things weren't going too well for the prince either. Back at the Circle K, his relief called in sick and he had to work a double shift. To top it all off, somebody dropped a dozen eggs in the back and he had to clean it up with a broom and a dustpan because the mop was broken. It was not a good day. It was worse for the slushy guy because he was now a frog and was swimming around in the swamp trying to figure out what to do with himself when, as luck would have it, a beautiful princess mysteriously showed up. Yeah, she was, living in a neighboring alternate reality, and she just happened to come by to play with her beautiful ball, which she loved very much. Suddenly, a gust of wind came and blew the ball into the swamp, and the princess began to cry. She said, "I gotta have my ball back. I need my ball back." And the slushy guy said, "Excuse me, princess. I will get the ball for you, but you must do something in exchange for me." And she said, anything you want, just give my ball back. So he swim out, he get the ball, he bring it back to her, and he say, "Now you must do something for me." And she said, what? And he said, "You must give me a kiss." For he knew that the kiss of a beautiful woman was the only thing that could reverse the witch's evil spell. Unfortunately, the princess was not into kissing reptiles. She said, "No way, forget it, I'm out of here." She tried to run away, but the frog, he keep with her, he stay with her, he harangue her, he follow her, he stalk her, he tell everybody that she welched on an agreement until finally she said, okay, and she kissed him. Mwah. And at that moment, he is transformed magically. And the princess, she see a handsome young man standing before her. And she say, "I thought you were a frog, but all this time, you are a handsome prince." And the guy say, "Well, kinda. Actually, I work the slushy machine down at the Circle K." And the princess say, "Oh, that didn't turn out the way I thought it would. But I like slushies." So they went down to the Circle K and had a slushie. The prince, meanwhile, finally finished his double shift, quit his job, went home, back to the kingdom and said, "That's it, I don't ever want to see another slushy again." And he was very happy to be back in his royal palace, in his royal robes, wearing his heavy crown, and being a prince once again. So, in the end, everybody was back where they started, but everybody was happy.
Yeah.
The end.
Okay, and what are we supposed to learn from this,
Well,
Psycho-Lou?
Kenny, the moral of the story is, sometimes things don't work out the way you think they will,
True.
but that can be okay.
True.